Do you think Christian nationalism is a threat to democracy, and why or why not? It's a threat in the exact same way any religious nationalism would be. They're theocrats, so by definition they don't want a democracy. Yes. Because let's assume everyone democratically votes to live in a Christian nation. Well, okay. The people have spoken. But, whose Christianity? The Christianity of the eye for an eye God or the turn the other cheek God? Which scriptures do we accept as our guiding principles? Are humans saved by faith alone? Or must that faith be coupled with good works to earn salvation? There are biblical arguments to be made for and against capital punishment. What's the proper way to treat a sinner? What even is an arsene coite? Paul's pretty clear you shouldn't sleep with one but failed to define what precisely it is. How do we punish adultery? Stoning or go and sin no more? Tax collecting? Is medical care that breaks the skin permissible? Is the Sabbath Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? If we get it wrong, we risk working on the Sabbath and breaking the commandments. Is Jesus of God or from God? Not only do we risk breaking another commandment, but if we get this one wrong, Santa Claus will slap the shit out of us. What's up, Aries? What about money lending? Get this one wrong and either you sin, your economy goes up in flames, or both. Who do we look to for ultimate spiritual, political guidance? The Pope, the Patriarch, the other Patriarch, the Mormon prophet? How even to deal with Mormons and their insistence that all other branches of Christianity are irredeemably in apostasy and only they have a hotline to God? What about the proper age of baptism? Should we do it as infants, so they are saved as soon as possible? Or when they are old enough to know right from wrong? Or until they are truly adults? And again, the Mormons are over there being weird and standing proxy to baptize the dead. They'll baptize your beloved late grandma if they think your rector did it wrong. These questions and 1,000 more kept European Christendom at each other's throats for nigh on 1,500 years. Until we figured out, after millions of gallons of spilled blood, it's better to not make windows into men's souls and let people worship in private how their conscience told them, and agreed on a certain degree of secularism in public and legal spaces. The problem with Christian nationalist and similar movements is they have a very superficial understanding of their own faith. And that's neither better nor worse than having a * deep understanding of the faith and its complexity and history. Christians haven't been united or in agreement with each other since about 5 days after the crucifixion. And that's not going to resolve anytime soon. So Christian nationalism is already doomed to fail. The problem is, if it wins even for a few years, it's going to take a lot of people down with it. Yes, there are Christian nationalists fighting against the separation of church and state, stating that we need this country to return to God, which is exactly why there is a separation in the first place. Religion is a personal belief system that absolutely cannot be politically backed through laws and policy for it to remain a democracy. Freedom of religion is a huge blessing to have. But you cannot have freedom of religion if one religion is making laws and decisions for people who do not follow that doctrine. It is despicable that people who are not religious at all are being forced to follow the rules and practices of someone else's. If there was a coalition of Muslim politicians who were propagating the same crap that Christian nationalists are, the Christian nationalists would be up in arms spouting about how that is against the Constitution. Yes, it takes a system meant to serve many and reserves only for the few.